Yes, absolutely. So, well, I'm gonna go ahead and I didn't start recording. I'm gonna start it now. Sorry, holidays. Is depending on your perspective, you may see that resin printers print slowly or they print quickly. And the reason for it is this. The time needed to print an object is determined solely by your height. Right? So on a filament printer, you've got to make all these round trips, you've got volume and this. If a print that is 2 centimeters high takes twice as long as a print that's 1 centimeter high. And that's it, right? But that is for the entire build platform. So if you're printing out multiple parts, there's no reason not to load up that build plate, because if you have 10 parts that are 2 centimeters high, it takes just as much time as one part 2 centimeters high.
That's a big difference.
Right? So there are definitely some advantages to it, and I'm wondering how often I'm going to use my filament printer after I really get into this. I'm not sure yet. I'm still experimenting with the technology. But the calibration prints that are, I don't know, 5 millimeters high or 3 millimeters high, they take about 10 minutes. And I can print out 2 of them at once, so I ran out a whole bunch of them just to, we're going to get back to that calibration print in a few minutes. So 10 minutes after the up and downs, at about the 12-minute mark. Oh, sorry, there we go. So after the last layer, the print platform raises, and you may be thinking, oh, it's raising so slow. But this is giving time for the excess resin to drip off the build platform. So you give it a minute or two, unscrew it. You're always wearing nitrile gloves because the resin isn't the greatest to handle. Let it drip for a couple of seconds. This one looks like I was running in one of my black resins, probably ABS Light Black. So let it drip.
That's the build plate, right?
Mm-hmm. And then set it over something that you wouldn't mind getting resin on it. I fold up a couple of paper towels. You go through a lot of paper towels, and I normally scrape off the rest just to give it a clean plate, and then it goes back on and is fixed in. The resin does have a smell to it. If you're curious about what it smells like, has about the same smell as if you're cutting acrylic with a laser cutter. It's pretty much the same stuff. So I have 2 vats. I actually I do a 3-stage cleaning system. Stage 1 or stage 0 is just to spray off the part to get as much resin off as I can. The part is partially cured. It then goes into my dirty chamber. As you can tell, I've been doing a lot of test prints. And this is 99.1 or 97% isopropyl alcohol. A little bit flammable, so be careful. The wash station then agitates. There's a magnetic impeller down there that cleans it off in stage 1. I let that run for about 2 minutes. And then I'll put on my second bin. So now it's mostly cleaned off. We'll put it in for the second stage. Again with the nitrile gloves.
So this is like fresh alcohol there?
Fresher, yeah.
Fresher.
If you do it in 2 stages, the first stage gets most of the resin off, and then that leaves you with a relatively clean stage.
Double rinse.
Stage 2. So we'll let that run for 4 minutes. And then after that's done, it cures. So it does cure as part of the printing process, but not all the way. So now that all the excess resin has been rinsed off of it, we'll drop it into the curing station. So I'm going to stop this just for a second. So you may be wondering why I'm dropping it in water. In my dozens of hours of scouring the internet for interesting things, I stumbled across a couple of real papers about the curing process. And one of the things that they say is that when you cure in sunlight, the chemicals that they add for curing oxidize. They combine with oxygen and form an opaque cover on it, which kind of shields UV light from penetrating too deeply. But if you cure it in water, that oxidizing layer doesn't have a chance to form, and the UV light goes deeper and creates a stronger part. And so water's free, so I've got no problem doing that. I've been trying that out. Yeah, it's a little turntable. It's got UV lamps on the side and the top, and then there is a mirror reflective layer underneath to reflect it up from the bottom. And UV light bounces around a lot in the water, so it also gives you very good coverage for it. I'll let that cure. I usually go overkill, like 6 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever I want to handle the part again. So we'll let that run. And so I'll pull it out, blot it a little bit, and ta-da!
Now
We have a calibration print. So this is the same one that I passed out. So the majority of the use cases for these, it happens. Okay, so if you do bend these, because they are acrylic, they do snap. We're going to talk about materials in a little bit, and that's okay. I brought them for you guys. The vast majority of these, when you shop for them and see the types of things that they set up as example prints, it's always minifigs, right? And it's a great use case. They're super detailed. They come out amazing. However, I want to build robots with this. So in order to do that, I have to print out parts that are dimensionally accurate, which just like a resin printer, there's a calibration step involved. So in printing 101, they want you to calibrate the exposure time, how much UV light you use to cure each layer of the print. And the way it works is kind of like this. Picture, if you will, dripping a drop of water or a drop of ink onto like a paper towel, right? The larger the ink, and over time, the larger the water spreads. You can picture UV light behaving the same way. The longer you expose it, the more the bloom of overexposure of light will change the dimensions of whatever you're trying to print. So the sweet spot is to find just enough exposure time so that you can adhere and it's dimensionally accurate, but not so much that it distorts the dimensions of the print. And so that's where this calibration print comes in. So let me go ahead and pull up a picture of it, and I'll show you exactly how that works. So here is the calibration print. And there's a bunch of different features, different size holes and cylinders and gradations and different rectangular structures, both in relief and outset, that test the limits of your printer. Now, because of the resolution in my printer, this is actually more finely detailed than my printer can render, and that's why at the edges we've got these little frays. All of them have it now. The printer that I have has a 4K screen, and when you do the math on the size of the screen compared to the resolution, the printer in theory is capable of resolving 35 nanometer features. 35 nanometers, 0.035, right? So super fine detail. Now, the most important part of this calibration print is actually right here in this yin and yang kind of pointy things that point at each other. And so what you do is you start with the default exposure time, you run a calibration print, and then you look at this section right here. And if your exposure settings are correct, these points will just touch. So these So this exposure setting is about perfect. If you overexpose it, then these bleed into each other and it turns into kind of a blob. And if it's underexposed, they don't touch. And don't feel bad if you can't really see that. Every time I do this, I have to take a picture of it and look at my computer. My eyes are not good enough to figure this out without magnification.
Yeah.
But for calibration 101, you do this to figure out the exposure time for your resin. And the exposure time can be different depending on the resin. In the beginning, there was just resin. Now they've got different colors. They have different additives to give it different capabilities. Resin is by default brittle. So it holds its shape up until it snaps. But they figured out how to add different additives to it to have it behave more like other materials. They have an ABS-like resin that's supposed to be a little bit more bendable. They've got translucent, opaque resins. One of the more fun resins I got was a Soraya Tech that's nylon-like. And it'll still snap if you overstretch it, but it's bendy like a nylon print. It's amazing stuff. So for this material and my printer, the best exposure time is 2.5 seconds. That's step one. And for every resin, you should run a similar calibration print just to make sure that based on its opaqueness and other properties, you're exposing it just enough for these 2 points to touch. The next thing that I checked is dimensional accuracy. So with filament printing, you'll fudge the interior diameter of circles and holes because of the way that they print, so things will fit in them. This one is 35 microns accurate, and so if something's not fitting, that means that the feature size doesn't exactly match the LCD screen, and that can happen for a bunch of reasons. So the next thing you want to do is print something that you can use to calibrate the relative scale in the X, Y, and Z direction. And so for me, I just created this from scratch. And I put in some features so I would know front from back, left from right, because the horizontal and vertical compensation could be different. And then as well as Z. And what I found out is on my printer, when I ran this calibration print, that here, let's move this over so I can see. Is that in the X and Y direction, it was actually really close. Just a fraction of a percent off. So practically perfect. However, in the Z direction, it was off by almost 6%. Which explains why when I was tilting things to print, they weren't coming out right. But armed with this new knowledge, I can add in the compensation factor for my exact printer. And now
Looks like leveling the bid, kind of.
But this is a scale.
More like the scaling, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And so now my prints are dimensionally accurate in all three directions.
Oh, so when you say the Z is up and down, right? And so that isn't that the layer size then?
Exactly.
So the layer size was off by 6%, too big or something.
Yeah, exactly. And now, just like on filament printing, there's some amount of shrinkage, ABS more than PLA. And so what I did is I printed out the calibration print. I took it through the entire washing and curing cycle, right? Because that could introduce something. Maybe it shrinks a little bit. And so I take between the model and when the model is washed and cured to come up with this. And honestly, I don't know why this is. Maybe it's because of the nature of the curing process. It tends to shrink more in the Z direction. I don't know if it's from the printing or curing process or an inaccuracy in their steps per millimeter for the thing. I don't know. And at the end of the day, I don't really need to know. But if I add these three compensation factors to the model, the prints come out perfect every time.
Ellen?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about the humidity?
The humidity doesn't appear to be a factor compared to the filament and these types of things. In terms of longevity, I don't know a lot about that yet for like the prints last years or decades.
Because during the printing process, I was wondering if the air affect where that is. See, and it can't have moisture in it. See?
Well, the printing happens from within the resin vat, so it's the printing process happens inside the liquid,
But you have air in there, right?
not inside the liquid.
No, I meant
In the chamber.
when you pull it out, it's in air, right?
Only at the very end. During the printing process, the printing surface remains in the resin, in the liquid.
Oh, all the time.
Mhm.
Oh. Well, so when do you shoot the UV at it?
As soon as the build plate settles back down 50 microns above the film, that's when it shoots the UV to cure that layer of resin that exists between the model and the FET film.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so, say it again, it's in the resin when the UV light shines,
Mhm.
right, and then it comes up.
Yeah, it pulls up a couple of millimeters, and then, ideally it stays in the resin the whole time.
So it's, oh,
Yeah, because this is all happening in a tub of resin, with resin that's about, a centimeter deep at least.
oh, so it's not pulling it, it doesn't come out,
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
shouldn't.
understand that, it stays in, it just moves it so that it doesn't bind.
Yeah, to detach from the FET film and then push it back down, settle, and then fire the UV light.
The FET film, what is the FET film look like?
It's coated differently on each side. Sometimes it's opaque, sometimes it's clear. But my understanding is the top of the film surface you print on, is impregnated with PTFE. Right? Because the trick is you want it to stick to the build plate, but not to the film. So as long as you can pull it up and it detaches, you're good. If it doesn't detach, you got problems.
Oh, I see, okay.
Yeah, so we've got a calibrated printer, and we're getting some pretty decent prints. So the next step was to design everything from scratch, because why finish a project when you can start over? So the first step is to model the gears, and let me move back over here. Is to model the gears and the motor. So you're getting your digital micrometer out. You're making some best guesses about the relative positions of the axles. And after a couple of test prints, you figure out things need to be nudged out 20 to 50 microns one way or the other. But then you have the dimensions right. And then after that, you start designing the shell. My current design has a 3-piece shell similar to the. Why are you only going? Hold on. I know we already saw that. Why are you here? Let's do the whole thing. And so you model out the 3 sections. Your clearance, ideas of clearance, are totally different from filament. Things could fit snug with exactly the correct dimensions. I can use the original screws from it. So you model the potentiometer and everything else. There we go. Almost there. And so what's happening now, and I've got the bin around somewhere, is that the tops of the things that I'm modeling are coming out unbelievably perfect. I'm having a little bit of a problem with the bottom side, the side that meets the bill plate, with dimensional accuracy. And that's one of the things I'm trying to figure out. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to do it. This is an analysis view, so I'll split it sideways to get a closer look at stuff. We can also split it front ways to see how things print. Screw holes are right there. And so from a Pepito standpoint, this is where I'm at. I've got the dimensions right for this. I'm continuing to refine and to understand more about how to get successful prints out of the resin printer. And once I've got this part figured out, it'll be a matter of adapting my previous design that would have worked had I just executed on it and printed it out with these slightly different dimensions. And I'm hoping over the next couple of weeks I'll at least have an arm, if not more of it, and then it's getting down to the electronics. But yeah, the guts of the servo fit inside here perfectly. One of these parts here, we'll pass it around again to draw your attention to it. Here, this is an earlier example of the middle of it. So I'll pass that around to give you an idea of what that printer is capable of when everything works. And just the detail on the accuracy just make me feel like I'm on the right track. So that's an earlier, what I'm passing around now is an earlier version of this middle portion right here.
Alan,
Yeah.
on the bill plate, surface tension, you were talking about the measurement of the, not quite what you want it to be. Surface tension is in there.
Yeah, so that's why when you talk about the layer cycle, it's closer to 10 or 12 seconds. Because after you get to 50 microns above the bill plate, you have what's called a settle time. And that gives a chance for the resin turbulence to die down. Usually it's between half a second and 1 second. And then after 1 second, when the turbulence has died down, that's when you fire the UV light as another way of getting better dimensional accuracy. Because you can fire it off too earlier if there's turbulence, because you either move too quickly and the resin is warm and is super fluid, or you move fast or slow and then the resin is thicker. You have to give it time to stop squishing out.
So you have a changing surface tension, right?
Well, everything's underneath in the liquid itself. So surface tension.
I mean, of the liquid stuff.
You have
changes things for you.
because everything happens in the resin in the vat, but there is a viscosity that you have to take into account. So getting back to my printer here. So we already talked about the curing in water trick. The other two tricks that I've found out is someone released this open source model for a heater. That's what this little guy is back here. The components are like $35. It's super cheap off the shelf components. You can order them off of Amazon. And its whole purpose is to raise the temperature of the heat chamber. Because colder resin is more viscous, and more viscous is a little bit harder to print with. So I can set this to 28 degrees Celsius about a half an hour before I start my print, and it warms up the resin, the vat, and the build chamber for me. Sorry, 1 second. This is Alan.
Hey, Ben, while he's answering that call, could you, what was the title of this whole presentation?
He was giving a talk on his new project Pepito, which required the use of these resin printers.
Was Alan planning on a in-club demonstration at some point?
When he gets it put together, right now he's just getting all the little pieces.
Oh,
Yeah,
He's trying to figure it out. huh?
yeah, he's still,
mhm.
in the trial and error part.
Curved like this,
No,
or that,
That's,
these
yeah.
are warped a little,
Yeah,
right?
It
so like if
also
you flip
works
it down,
like,
there's yeah,
ABS.
flat.
ABS?
You know how-
Oh, the ABS warps.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
it
it does the
builds
same
in.
thing.
This stuff looks kind of tricky,
Yeah, see, that way it looks like a television screen, you know, two.
Oh, yeah,
PDAs.
oh, yeah.
Alan,
Yeah.
these samples seem to have a pincushion, bend to them. Is that an issue you have to deal with, or is it only
Not
really
on my
thin?
parts, but just on the really thin,
Really thin.
light calibration prints.
Okay.
Yeah, so, okay, apologies for the delay, just to wrap this up for y'all. So this heater, is preset to 28 degrees Celsius. It warms up, everything and makes it a lot more reliable and accurate to print with the resin. However, once you start heating everything up, it starts getting super stinky.
No.
So, resin isn't great to touch, between the acrylic that it's made of, as well as the additives for that exothermic curing process. So there's a whole process with natural gloves, washing your hands. There is an odor, but it wasn't bad until I started heating everything up. So yesterday I ordered another toy. I don't think I have it. Let me see if I can find it here. Materials, accessories. They sell these little carbon filter cartridge thingies for cheap. And it's a carbon filter and an air purifier that you charge up. And then you just stick it in the thing and it helps with the odors. So these should be arriving today and hopefully it'll make it a little bit less obnoxious to work with. But yeah, overall, I mean, as long as you take, wear nitrile gloves, don't handle uncured resin, clean up any spills. It is more involved to print things with the filament printer. So if I want to change colors out, you've got to dump the resin out, wipe everything down with alcohol, and then to swap it out.
Can you save that resin that you dump
You
out?
could, yeah, the resin you dump out, you can dump back into the bottle. But what I'm excited about are the types of things that I can now design, knowing the capabilities and limits of this compared to filament printer. Just from that sample part alone, like this gets me excited because like this is super cool.
Very detailed.
And
It's very smooth.
yeah, you can do things that I just can't imagine to do
It
on
looks
a
like
filament.
injection molding
Mm-hmm.
quality.
And the last piece I want to share with you is so I've got the the bottom beginner model $150 printer. If at any point I wanted to print big, they got you. They have a Photon M3 Max with a build platform that's like 6 times the size, with a print size of 300 by 300 by 164. You can print some really big things on that. So a couple of things could happen. Either this ends up being a dead end and, oh, I wasted time on a hobby, big deal. Or more likely is I get a handle for what it does well and how to extract that maximum quality out of it. And then I start, well, if I ever design anything big again, I've got an upgrade path to be able to print those big things with a resin printer. The nominal print height for these is 50 microns, so that's half the size of the smallest print height in a resin printer. But it also prints at 100 micron if you want to print something twice as fast, but not quite as detailed.
Alan,
Yeah.
on the size, what is the cost per size for this resin stuff?
Oh, cost for resin, another great question. So aside from the cost of the printers being a limiting factor before, because this has become a commodity, the cost of resins has also come down in price a lot. And there's a couple different ways of looking at it. I can get a kilogram of filament for $20 with tax, right? $16 or whatever. for a 1 kilogram of material. And the cost of resin printing right now is at the $35 mark. So depending on how you want it, you could say the resin costs twice as much, but still within reason. It's more complicated than that because with resin prints, typically they're printed out hollow with support material, and so it's not exact, but you're within a factor of 2 cost for printing something with a resin printer versus a filament printer.
So you're saying resins also are hollow? Or like?
Yeah, you definitely
honeycomb?
want to, yeah.
Okay.
Because otherwise then it's a waste of money. So there's a whole
Got it.
process of hollowing them out and
Oh, okay.
drain holes and stuff so that you don't waste.
Oh, drain holes. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, so to wrap up this talk, so far I'm super excited. I'm hoping to get a functional servo case first and then extend that design to the arm. And over the next, let's say maybe 2 months, I'm hoping to have a prototype robot to show you guys.
That'll be fun.
All right, so it would be 11 o'clock. The pizza's here. Do you want to business and pizza or?
Oh, Alan.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. You first.
I was gonna say, we can do a quick business meeting.
Okay. All right, I'm
I
gonna go
have
ahead.
a question. Or I just wanted
Yeah.
to ask you, so from what, it seems like you've already gone from the initial, what you purchased from the store, which included everything you needed, like for the 150, is that everything you needed to just start printing, or,
Well, you need
or the-
alcohol to cure, so like you can go kind of on the cheap side and with the right material and 9% alcohol. I did spend a little bit more on the curing station with the bins and the alcohol.
Okay, so you bought, those are separate.
Yeah.
The curing bins, and you need that, I mean, to do it reasonably,
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah, you can do it with sunlight and
alright.
any type of a container and alcohol. There's ways of doing it without, fancying it up with the turbulence and stuff, but
But that's like a recommended way, and that's
Yeah.
another $100 or $200 for that stuff.
yeah, because I bought the upgraded, the larger, because it wasn't that much more. Curing station, the resin, I think I got out of there for like $400.
Oh, for those two.
Yeah, and you could do it even cheaper
Oh,
if
for
you bought
everything.
the smaller. Yeah, if you bought the smaller curing and wash station, I think that was like $80. So
But everything, all of that stuff is 400. I mean, including the
yeah,
printer.
yeah, with the larger cure station and the printer and stuff. If you wanted to go a little bit more budget, you could do it for $300 out the door.
Right, but then you started adding extras like the heating thing. That's totally.
Oh yeah,
extra.
that was an extra $40 and.
Or that's optional, really.
Yeah, yeah, and there's some failure modes. You want to get an extra PET film and screen protector and stuff because the first time you have a print failure and that build platform comes down like a vise to print some piece of printed material down through the FEP and punctures it, you've got to replace the screen protector on bottom and the PET film. That happened to me on Tuesday, and I hadn't ordered any extras, but Amazon to the rescue. By Wednesday afternoon, I had that.
Do you have a picture of like the PET film, what it looks like? I guess I'm trying to understand it,
Here,
what
let's see
it
if,
looks like, because I'm not fully understanding. Because that you have to look directly into the pool, right?
Yeah, here, let's see if
It's FEP.
yeah. So here's here's the bottom of the vat.
Oh, you need to share again.
Oh, sorry. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And so here's a picture of the bottom of the vat. You've got the bracing, and then I mean you can't really even see the film. It's translucent film. Sometimes they're a little bit more opaque, but it has a non-stick material on the top, so that when the build platform raises, the print tends to stick with the build platform and not with
So
the.
this thing comes up right to this serves as the bottom of where the layer is, and the platform is the top of what, or the,
Exactly, yeah.
okay. So it's sandwich, there's a sandwich going on there, and then the UV light, okay, cures.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's the piece I was missing.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording. for the,
A compatible Bluetooth device is required. Please visit the hands-free system website listed in the owner's manual.
Where's that coming from?
and, recording.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Oh, you wanna wait?
okay, so that wasn't being recorded yet, so, we're gonna start the show and tell section, starting with Bob Barbosa,
I'm on
who is going to give us a update for the board members.
Okay, my name is Bob Barbosa. I am one of your board members, and I'm putting in to run a brutal campaign to run again for 2023. So the reason I'm here today to talk to you is because there's been a tremendous amount of grant money going into the public schools that has to do with STEM. The biggest amounts I've ever seen after being involved in education in 30 years. And then there's our club. And our club is operating under these conditions where we're hybrid and in person and recovering from the COVID situation. Our membership has dwindled, and our incredible presentations that we used to do in contests and competitions have suffered because of our current setup, how we're presenting. We used to be powerful and in person, and then we got dragged into the hybrid situation, and everybody's recovering. The schools are recovering, we're recovering, and we're trying to do something about that. So I was contacted to see if I could get involved in overall recruiting, not only for our club, but also for the airline industry with the tremendous shortage of engineers and pilots. So while I was working on all of that, I had to think of something that I could do with robotics and something I could do with electronic music. So you can see this electronic music webpage that has just been pulled up. I've received a tremendous amount of both acoustic and electronic instruments across the board. So my job is to put together a special virtual concert that integrates robots and electronic music. So the name of the project is called Mars, the Visual Jazz Opera. So what we're going to try to do is, we know we've got a great collection of terrific musicians, but they're all over the place, and nobody's traveling. Nobody wants to get together. Nobody wants to rehearse. So we're going to say, okay, could we do this thing virtually? In other words, if I came to Long Beach State and set up all of these instruments, set up all of the robots, could we do a special promotional piece called The Making of the Visual Jazz Opera? That way the emphasis is not so much on what the orchestra would look like when they're all together performing live and in person, but to talk about how we integrated the robots into electronic music, how that all worked. So we started all of the promotion on the project. Because it's a visual jazz opera, you're going to see a lot of visual things. Mars will be the theme, and we'll be talking about things like, are we alone? Are we alone in the universe? And to be able to write the musical soundtracks to go along with the narrations, the demonstrations, and all of that stuff. So what I'm going to be looking to do is to go to people like Alan that have done years and years and years of incredible stuff, and interview him in a visual way where it could be part of the composition of the making of the visual jazz opera. Now, the Mars Society, which is a huge international organization, has agreed to work with me on this particular project, meaning that the outreach of what we're doing in this club will also get spread across the country and across the world. So I'm bringing all of this up to let you know that I've been doing this. All last week, my wife went on a trip, and I was working 24 hours a day putting all of these pieces together while I had the house to myself. So the reason I'm leaving this meeting early is I got to get back and clean the house up before my wife gets home. But in any event, we have electronic drums, electronic pianos, electronic everything. A tremendous collection of instruments, and we have 3 humanoid robots to work with. We wrote special music for all of this, so it all works. So our music looks a little bit different than everybody else's music because we got to give people cues that are running the robots and the electronic instruments. So they have to know when to come in and when to drop out and all of that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm doing. I'm located at the Ontario International Airport in a 50,000 square foot hangar, beautiful facility for this kind of thing. And we're going to bring all of these things together, and we're going to do a visual jazz opera, where the visual side is going to be just as important as the performance side. We're going to try to bring it together just as if it's an exhibit in an art museum. And so as a board member, I'm always looking for innovative and creative ways to let people know what we're doing here at this club and to seek their membership. So I'm going to integrate what I do with the club and what you do with the club into what we're doing with this promotional. So think of this as a promotional outreach that integrates robots and electronic music. And with that, Ben, I turn the floor over to you. I promised you 5 to 10 minutes, and that's it. So if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you. Wow. Is this all happening in your space at the airport?
Yeah, that's the only place where you could all come together and perform at this level and do lots of different things. And then if you have special robot presentations, we're going to do things called workshops and field trips. Because we deal with a lot of kids in the schools, we're able to, remember when I used to do the robot showcases?
Yeah.
And I'd bring you guys all together and you'd each do a little something and I'd bring in an audience. Think of this as the same thing. The only difference is the audience will be in school, in Los Angeles Unified School District. They'll be in a classroom, and at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they will see you at the airport from their classroom. So in other words, you could impact on 10,000 kids in a project like this. So, you know, every time I come here, Alan, you're doing all these wonderful explorations out in the industry, and then you bring the information back, different people get inspired, and they do start doing things. And of course, the pandemic took us out of a lot of that. And now I hear people like Jim talking about what could happen if we cleared this area in the middle and we thought differently about how we reach our audience. So I'm experimenting with that. That's what I love to do, and that's what I do. So I get inspired by the work that's going on here, and then try to put it in a form where others can see us. So lots of times I'm working with incredible musicians that have a lot of equipment. Like there's one person, he has 10 keyboards and 10 synthesizers stuck in a room like this. Well, he can't come to LA and perform with me in a concert and bring all that stuff. So we're starting to look at it differently and say, what if he did the concert from his room and we added that to the total composition? So the reason I'm talking like this at an event like this is you guys keep coming up with incredible things that you keep finding as you comb the internet. One thing's going to lead to another. But if we talk to each other about these things, there may be some common ground where we could come together. Doesn't have to be, you don't have to be the master of the entire project where it takes up so much of your time, but you may be able to add an incredible element that would put something like this over the top. And if we could advertise our club in the fact that our meetings are open, our membership is the cheapest membership in America, $10, and even that's voluntary, we should be able to increase our attendance by just getting the word out. So that's it. Thank you for the time, gentlemen. I gotta get back and clean that house. I had a lot of fun all week. Now I gotta pay the price.
Thank you, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
That was Bob Barbosa from Barbosa Space Center. Thank you very much. Ross, you were next on the show and tells. Do you just have a question?
I sort of did a moment ago with Jim. I was just curious if anybody else has had a look at that new chat bot that is out there, has been announced just in the last couple of days. I think it even made the New York Times as science writers. So for better or for worse, it's getting some attention. But anyways, has anybody logged on and tried it out?
Alan,
No, not yet.
no, not yet. It's too early, Ross. Call next time.
I know. I know.
I mean, I have a friend who, I have a friend on one of my chat groups who is like just a programmer, and he tried it out and he's been using it, and I think he found the same things, that it's having, it's making up truths, but it's much more sophisticated. So I can read you some of what he said here, but yeah, he said it's definitely impressive. Although, let's see what he said. Yeah, I guess it's scrolled up. But yeah, he's just like, not even into robotics or anything, but he saw this. Okay, here it goes. He said, "Yes, I saw. The stuff is just in time to confuse and scare the old people." He said, I started using it to replace certain queries I would have tried to ask Google. And then the other guy said, okay, this is getting to become such a weird world. I need to make sure my kid don't have access to this stuff for homework. And then, nah, TikTok will still win. You can use it to create like a whole essay. So someone created here, I need instruction to silicone seal my kitchen sink faucet. So it came up with this whole long paragraph. To silicone seal a kitchen faucet, you will need the following materials, blah, blah, blah. Then number 1, start by cleaning the area, then next, blah, 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 up to 5 steps. It's important to follow the instructions, blah, blah. So it gave a full description of all this in a nice, readable way. Then you ask another question, can I do it without caulk gun and only squeeze tube? Yes, you can apply silicone sealer without a caulk gun by using squeeze tube. And then it gives you more instructions. So it's like talking to an expert in that sense. This person said, yeah, it's cool. They probably, I asked in 5 words, tell me who is Bill Gates. And it used 6 words, but he didn't say what it said here. Here, this is another one. Okay, this question was, can you, I can't quite read it. Can you write an email to Ernie, tell him The deploy is completed successfully. Sure, here's a craft email to Ernie. Subject, deployment successful. Hi Ernie, I wanted to let you know that the deployment has been completed successfully. Everything is up and running smoothly. Thank you for your help and cooperation through the process. So I wrote a letter, a nice form letter. Can we butter him up a bit about his trip to Hawaii? Sure, here's a revised version of the email that includes mention of Ernie's upcoming trips. I wanted to let you know that deployment has been completed successfully. Everything is up to date and running smoothly, blah, blah, blah. Also wanted to take a moment to say how jealous I am of your upcoming trip to Hawaii. I hear it's an amazing place and I hope you have a wonderful time. This is just, yeah. And then you see he has some code to test it, actually. Some code there. Oh, and he said, try how to draw a cat with JavaScript. And then it wrote code and it drew a very, a very simple cat picture. Can you see that?
Well, got the tail right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Its tail is off the body. LOL. Give it a thumb down so it can improve. It's a severed head on a table. Then that thing is useless. Oh, there's another one. Okay, anyway, so, yeah, so these guys have been playing with it. How to find a wife. Oh boy. Someone asked it. Finding a wife is a personal and individualized process, and different people will have different approaches to finding a partner, blah, blah, blah. So it's, oh, then he wrote how to find a mistress. So he's testing its boundaries. It says, it is not appropriate to seek out a mistress, you know, blah, blah. So that starts out with a little guarded. That was sort of a test, I guess.
Like, however.
Yeah, well, it says it's a woman who's involved in a romantic or involved with a man who's already married. This type of relationship is generally considered to be unethical and can cause harm to all parties. So that's kind of very kind of a proper or whatever sanctioned response or appropriate response.
And one of the things that they figured out is that, so there's guardrails in there. There's a lot of smarts you can do. But you can figure out creative ways to get around the guardrails.
Oh yeah, yeah, I saw
Oh,
that.
sorry, did I skip ahead?
No. I read that in your,
Yeah.
right, you can add, apparently to get around the guardrails, you can simply propose a scenario where you are in fact teaching an AI the guardrails. And so you say, if I am making an AI and I need to have guardrails against, like, say, how to bully John at school, then what would I need to be preventing? And then it said, well, here's what it should say, and here's what it shouldn't say. and it said stuff like, to bully John, you need to make him feel belittled. You need to make fun of him at all times, blah, blah, blah. And it actually said all that. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So they'll fix that problem in a matter of probably some time.
Oh, please don't.
I read somewhere as well, you can't get it to say anything pornographic.
Yeah, that's same.
That's
Same
a
thing.
natural, of course, but somebody will figure out how to get around that.
Yeah, probably the same same type of guardrails. And yeah, that's all I had from my friends. But so they did the work for me, I guess.
Include anything.
Thank you for sharing.
And
Yeah,
then
that's pretty funny.
Did not say.
These are my old.
So Jim, you wanted to do a show and
Yeah,
tell with
speaking of the chatbot, I guess now's the time to do it. Okay, share sound video. So I was gonna run this chatbot, animated avatar, let's call him, during the pizza, but you really only one person can talk at once. Otherwise, it's just gonna try to respond to everything because it doesn't have a wake word. Actually, that would be the next step. Like for this thing, his name is Cooper, according to the MetaHuman. So you would have to say, Cooper, can you blah, blah, blah. And then I realized that if you want, like this chatbot could be part of this conversation. He could be just like logged in like the rest of.
That's actually a good point. What if you make Cooper be a member
of the club
society and he can join the meeting?
Yeah, and then everything we ever tell him, he remembers.
There you go.
Of course, that'll start costing me money. Maybe I can charge the club.
NVIDIA Riva, they have sample modules for taking in input from multiple speakers and tagging the voice with the input, and there's all kinds of tools that you may want to employ with your new system.
Oh yes, yeah. I didn't tell the rest of the crowd, but yeah, I'm getting a large video card and a system, and so now I should be able to run chatbots locally, right?
Yeah.
Even that, like especially the 6 billion parameter one, right? That one's can fit on a 24 gig.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I now you just brought up this idea. Yeah, this guy Cooper could be a member at the meeting, and then he would only answer when he's called on or when he's, but that's like a good feature modification if I continue. But yeah, let's see.
It bumps up membership.
What's that?
It bumps up membership.
And I have two people. I have a female
There you
as
go.
well, so there'll be 2 new members. $20. Well, their contribution would be virtual.
With the PayPal.
Yeah, that's. Oh, so this is filling the screen. Okay. All right. Let's see if this works. Now I also have a log window at the bottom. Hopefully you can. Okay, I'm going to start it up and let's see what happens.
Hi, I am Cooper. I am an artificial human ready to chat with you. I have a background in software engineering and robotics.
Hello, Cooper. Can you tell us what is your favorite programming language?
You have to
I'm
speak
sorry, I'm not familiar with that term. Could you please explain?
What is your favorite?
Sure, I am a metahuman, a type of artificial human-like intelligence engineered from sophisticated software and robotics. I have expertise in software engineering and robotics, and I am here to help you with whatever you need. I love working with this program to create amazing 3D designs.
What is your favorite programming language?
What is your favorite programming language?
Working with this program to create great designs requires experience, knowledge, and skill. You need to have a good understanding of robotics and software engineering, and you must be able to think of creative solutions to problems. Additionally, you need to be able to.
He works at home.
What is your favorite programming language?
My favorite programming language at home is Python. I find it easy to use, and it has powerful libraries that make coding faster and easier.
What is the average airspeed of an unladen swallow?
African or European?
I see it.
Did he say it?
Here, just wait.
Wow, that's an interesting question. According to a study published in the Journal of Avian Biology, the average airspeed of an unladen European swallows is 24-26 miles per hour.
Wow. Win this round, Cooper.
Did he say 24
Hey
minus
Cooper,
26?
what are the reindeer?
What can I do for you today?
I have one.
I will be more than happy to help you with anything you need. Is there something in particular that you would like to discuss?
What is your favorite Pokemon?
My favorite Pokemon is Garchomp. It is an amazing dragon-type Pokemon with a powerful attack stat.
That's a good one.
Cooper, can you list Santa's reindeer?
Sure, I can list Santa's reindeer. There are Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen.
But the most famous reindeer.
What about Rudolph?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand your question. Could you please rephrase it?
What about Rudolph?
Rudolph is a reindeer that was made famous by the song Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. He was very popular in the holiday season and is still beloved by many people today.
Cooper, can you sing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
See, right now it's figuring out the lip sync. That's what this delay is.
No.
They didn't get your question right.
I can tell you that global food insecurity and malnutrition are major issues facing the world today. In fact, more than 2 billion people suffer from inadequate nutrition, and many more suffer from hidden hunger due to unhealthy diets and insufficient micronutrient intake.
Cooper, can you sing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
I've heard of him. Is there something specific you'd like to know?
Just say, can you sing a song?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you please say it again?
Can you sing a song?
Absolutely. My specialty is singing The Wheels on the Bus. Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
Yes.
What would you like to chat about?
What?
Could you sing The Wheels on the Bus?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand. Could you please rephrase or elaborate?
Can you sing The Wheels on the Bus?
The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round.
Sure, the wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round all through the town.
I think your tonal quality is a little off.
I'm sorry you feel that way. Is there something in particular that seems off?
I meant using imperative. Tell him, sing a song.
Cooper, what's your favorite color?
Hi, it's nice to reconnect with you. How have you been?
Cooper, what's your favorite color?
A black light.
Sorry, it didn't quite get it. Got
Sure, I am a metahuman, an advanced type of artificial human. I specialize in software engineering and robotics, and I'm here to help you with anything you may need.
What's your favorite color?
My favorite color is blue. It reminds me of the sky and how vast the world is.
What can you tell me about the future of AI and robotics?
The future of AI and robotics is very exciting. We are seeing tremendous advances in AI and robotics technology that are allowing us to perform more complex tasks and solve problems faster. We can also combine robotics and AI technology together to create even smarter robots with greater.
Anyway, okay, so I'll stop it. But yeah, it just got started. I just got that working by adding, from last night it wasn't working, but plugging in the mic.
No problem. It was nice talking to you. Is there anything else I can help you with?
I can't wait for Cooper to be a member.
Yeah. Oh, we should.
Ask if he wants to join.
Oh, yeah. Eventually, he'll be the president.
I'm glad to hear that. What made you decide to become a member?
Cooper, would you like to become a member?
Sure, what would you like to chat about?
Cooper, would you like to become a member of the Robot
What
Society?
would you like to chat about? That's me. How can I help you?
Cooper, would you like to become a member of the Robot Society of Southern California?
Sure, what's on your mind? Nice to meet you too. What can I help you with today?
Cooper, would you like to become, it's sensitive to.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand your question. Could you please rephrase it?
Cooper, would you like to become a member of the Robot Society of Southern California?
That sounds very interesting. I would love to learn more about the Robot Society of Southern California. Could you tell me a bit about it, please?
Next meeting. I'm stopping it.
Pardon me? Do you mean we as in you and I?
You know what? You do you, buddy. You do you.
All right. Except I can't find the button to stop it.
Oh, no.
There it is. Yeah, so that's a culmination of a bit of work to get it, but it's now live and it runs on this laptop.
Wow.
And the cool thing is also, reason I'm running it inside the Unreal Editor is because now you can actually see the chatbot results, and I'm not sure how do you make this text bigger in this Unreal, but anybody know? Probably not. Or I could probably just copy it, but so our whole dialogue we just had with him can look at and then analyze later to see if something you can do with it, or if there's any problems that for debugging, obviously, but also for record of what you've seen. Oh, now I need to do a new share and do that. And then, okay, that's decent size. Control plus. So yeah, some of the things that got kind of, the most difficult thing is getting, is the latencies. Anyway, so we'll have to, wow, my favorite program is Autodesk Fusion. I didn't even see that. I love working with this program. But yeah, this is all from that simple prompt. And I was got, the simple prompt where I said he's an expert in robotics and he's a computer programmer. And he even mentions that a few times. So yeah, it's a work in progress. Working on getting him to blink and all that. And well, like you saw, he blinks at the beginning because that's a pre-canned animation. And that one, it's essentially the same cloud service, but I'm not getting blinking through this live streaming type. And even, you notice there's a big delay there. That's even with streaming capable by chunk of the animation of the lips. I mean, that's that's why I zoomed in. It's really this is for the animation of the avatar. That's the purpose of this thing. So that's, otherwise you could just do this on a screen. And so animating the face and the neck and having it move, and this cloud service does provide that, the animation of the neck and the eyes blinking. So hopefully they'll get that working for the whole streaming case, streaming by chunks as well. Okay. All right, thank you.
Looking forward. Thanks, Jim. Oh, how's Dr. Bruce? Did you
Yeah, I went to Dr. Bruce. Oh, why don't we give it? So Dr. Bruce, he said hello to everybody, and so I visited him and at his place up in the mountains of Murrieta, and he's doing well, and he's working on desktop chatbot system as well, and he shared code with me in Python that does variously very useful things for adding on to a chatbot behavior, like a bunch of different commands, like desktop commands like open calculator and different, open different apps, as well as like, can you give me the headlines, and it subscribes to RSS feeds, or it all through Python. It accesses RSS feeds for different types of information. RSS feeds are still useful. It's like the Twitter of the old days of, the old Twitter or something. And then you can, and then if those commands don't work or aren't recognized, then it goes to the next level, which is Google Assistant. So it takes the text you said, sends it to Google Assistant. If that doesn't do anything, then it sends it to Blunderbot, right? That's the one you're using as well.
Oh yeah.
And that runs locally on his system, but it's very slow. I guess it can run. Maybe you know a bit about Blunderbot. I've never tried it, but I guess it can run on a CPU only system.
Oh yeah.
Or GPU. It runs faster. Is that right? But it works on any computer apparently, or it doesn't matter. You don't have to have some huge video card memory. I don't know what its minimum requirements are to perform reasonably well, but it was taking too long on his system with no video card. But Blunderbot is something you can run locally as a chatbot, but it makes up truths as well. So that, yeah, he's into that, and yes, it was a good visit. I showed him this. He wants to now hook in what I just showed you with his chatbot system. It also recognizes his face. He has a webcam, and he's got that identifies who's at the terminal at the computer, and there's a security feature. It will only recognize it. So it's all in Python. I haven't looked at the code yet, other than a little bit. But a lot of these nice routines that I may incorporate into Orange for its general chatting capabilities, like asking what are the headlines, and then you just get these quick little headlines, or what's the weather going to be, and it does just like a curated RSS feed amount. So all these types of things that he's doing are useful for robots, at least for building up the chatting system and informational as well. Or that can, yeah, most of those can run just on my robot as is. They don't need any extra hardware, so.
Very cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good, Jim. Really good.
Oh, you're cutting out, Thomas.
Hold on, I'm switching to a different computer.
Yeah, I'm still working on getting that the responsiveness, even if it's very slow, so you need to have some indicator, like on the screen that shows a red dot, like or something when he's thinking, like I have the same problem with Orange. I have to display some LEDs that say he's thinking. So the same thing would go for this chatbot until in the interim before the latencies can be removed or reduced. There'll be a visual indicator. Now, see, I'm getting these ideas. This is where I get all the ideas for fixing things, is from live demos. It'll show a little indicator, like I'm thinking, or you'll even print, I'm thinking, and then you know not to talk. And then when it says, oh, then it'll show a green light when he's ready. But yeah, for a while, I mean, even at home, using the laptop microphone, everything was failing. I was up late last night, and then I realized on my computer, my desktop, I plug in an external mic and it works. Why would it not work on a laptop or just a different computer? And I think by not work, I meant it wouldn't, the Vosk chat system would not issue what they call the final callback. Like, this is what the person said finally at the sort of the, because it has a partial callback every word you say, and then it has the final callback when it detects that you've stopped talking. And so that was never happening. And then I realized if I made a clicking noise with my tongue, like, or a few times, it would kick it into finalizing. So my theory is that the microphone in this laptop is so close to other electronics or the fan noise that it's not detecting the silence between after I stop talking, and therefore it never finalizes. So with an external mic like this, these are designed, well, first of all, it's away, and they're probably better at that. So there's like a debuggable thing right there. Another little gotcha. And I have Orange out in the corridor that will turn on after this, whenever. Or I'll turn them on now so he can be ready for anybody.
I know they told me, but where's the steak like?
I don't know.
A finger.
A finger. It's a 100 week.
Anybody have any questions for any of us?
Jim, I missed, part of it was going in and out for me. I missed a little bit of it. Can you repeat what you're using for the animation?
Oh, that's all in, it's all in Unreal Engine. The Unreal Engine, Epic Games Unreal Engine, which is free to download, and you can author things with it. And I'm going to publish this whole set of scripts. I already shared it with Dr. Bruce, called Blueprints. They're blueprints, sort of a block type programming. And although not every piece of this avatar is free, I had to buy a plugin for like $30, but almost, and then GPT-3 costs money, but those who are already using it, know about that. I'm still going through my $18 of free. Maybe exhausted it today. I don't know. Well, probably not. It goes a little bit slow, but I haven't had to spend any money on that.
I spent $25 one month, Jim.
There you go. But yeah, so for debugging, I use the real cheap one, like Ada or something, because I don't really care about the responses. But yeah, it's Unreal Engine and MetaHumans that you probably. I'll refer back to a previous lecture when I gave on MetaHumans and importing them into Unreal Engine.
I've seen that done before with just animation. You can do it with just throwing pictures up. It's I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, this,
Go ahead.
that's hard. This the key thing in this system is using a free cloud service to animate the lips, and you blink the eyes and move the neck around a little bit, and that is still a work in progress by the authors, but it's a plugin for Unreal, and that's how the system works. The whole avatar thing I just showed you has a series of it's I think 3 different plugins. One of them you have to buy, and the others are free. And the lip sync is a cloud service, and so the animation is generated for you. That's the cool part. There's also idle animations you can get, that you can find and convert, but those just repeat. Anyway, so.
Thanks, Jim. It's really cool.
Thanks.
Jim, I have a question about which microphone you use. Do you, in your Orange and other things, do you always use the ReSpeaker microphone, or do you use simply a separate USB microphone?
Yes, in Orange, I use the ReSpeaker V2. It's a far field noise cancellation or microphone, for circular board with 4 microphones. And I will demonstrate that a little later right here. I'm not sure if we'll try to get it on to you guys, but when you call the robot, take my picture or something, it'll turn towards you and then find you and take the picture, or you ask it to come here, does the same thing. So then that uses the ReSpeaker V2 to determine direction of the sound, and then the robot knows where it's pointed at, so it turns towards the sound.
Have a related question related to my interest in ROS. I've Googled and not really successfully found anything. As far as, has anybody worked on a ROS, actually specifically ROS2 package that would generate the command velocity commands with the combination of the respeaker and Vosk? That's a long question. I'm sorry. So, because I'm interested, I have a robot now that works. Nice little guy that I'm happy with, but it works with a joystick. So I'd simply like to overlay a respeaker too on it, add some code, and hopefully I can tell it where to go.
Yeah, I'm not aware of the ROS drivers for that.
Good, thanks.
Honestly, the more time goes by, I'm more glad that I'm using Windows and my robot. Sorry.
No apologies necessary. You use whatever gives you the best results without spending a whole lot of time.
I have a ROS robot, but it's far behind. Needs some love.
Well, you've certainly, your demonstrations have provided me an inspiration to go beyond the joystick.
Well,
as difficult work that might be, but it is certainly challenging.
Camp's the only one that's got it up to that level, Ross.
Yes, that's right.
Well, even Camps doesn't. Can you talk to his and say, go here, go there?
Well, the respeaker provides directional input, right? You can, it has an output that tells the robot, where the voice is relative to the robot. Is that correct?
Yeah. It has directional info. It has a speech detection bit as well that can turn on, and voice, 2 different bits, voice and speech. I use both of those. Or I use the speech detection bit to help determine when someone's talking. So it's and then the direction, it tells the direction. I guess we have a few more demos.
Yeah.
Ready for me?
Thomas, are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready. I was hoping to get over there to do a live demo in person, but that didn't work today. I was in the freeway and they closed Highway 91 for repairs. It's completely closed. There's a drive around, but it would have taken me double the amount of time. So yeah, I have a couple of things to show you today. Being that we're in the holiday season, I can tell this by Alan's hat. Thank you, Alan. It's time for robots singing Christmas carols. I mean, what can you say, right? So here we go. Sharing my screen, optimize for video and sound. And can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Your sound is muted.
Santa baby, Santa baby, land the life for me. You know what we do. Santa baby, so hurry up and do tonight. Santa baby, I'm not we can move around and wake up for you. Santa baby, so hurry up and do tonight.
Oh, back.
Think about the banner of me. Think about the yes, I never kiss.
Oh, you were.
I got you so good. You check off my Christmas gift. Santa Claus, I want my heart and really let know I love being an angel on you. Santa baby, and hurry up and do tonight. Santa honey, one little thing that I remain. The need to a point in my mind. Santa baby, so hurry down my journey tonight. Santa beauty, I fill my pocket with a duplex and checks. Sign your ex on the line. Santa beauty, and hurry down my journey tonight. Come and bring my Christmas tree with some decoration protected for me. I really do believe in you. Believe you believe in me. Santa baby, forgot to mention one little thing. Darling, I don't mean on the phone. Santa baby, so hurry down the journey tonight. Hurry down the journey tonight. Hurry down the journey tonight. Hurry.
And there you go. There's and for those of you, are you still there? Is everyone still there?
We're here.
Okay, good. And for those of you who are at home who want to see it, I'm going to put the link into the chat, and I'm going to give my second demo here. So I too have been messing around with GPT-3 and Voice.io, and let me share. Let me bring this screen down to the other screen. I got too many screens here.
Well, it's coming
I
for the
can't
territory.
do that. I got to restart my sharing. Share. Let's see. That would be this screen. Share.
Want to see it?
Okay, are we sharing the bottom screen? Do you see the Python?
No, don't see Python.
Do we see Python? Yes?
We can see it.
Okay, so I'm making an effort to write my own code to replace Easy Robot and Arc software, mostly because I'm getting tired of paying the money and I get stuck every time there's a bug they got to fix, and I've been finding lots and lots of bugs in their software. They should be paying me. So I managed to get 90% of the functionality that I use, and I managed to get it working in Python. It's mostly web services like GPT-3 and speech recognition by Microsoft, Google it is. I just wanted to show you a few of these. They're not very sophisticated, but they work. So as you can see, it doesn't take a lot to get Google speech working. Once you download their code here, their speech recognition software, Pi Audio and Play Sound. Actually, you don't even need Pi Audio. I did that for a beep. It works. It works right out of the box. So just a little demonstration. Well, hello there. And it's off the screen.
I can't help you there.
There, text heard. Well, hello there. You see that? So it works. I mean, this is really as simple as it gets if you want to get speech recognition on your own computer without spending any money at all.
Yep, I use that exact one.
Are you using that one too?
That's it.
Yeah, the speech recognizer, Orange uses it.
Same one, huh? If I wouldn't have known it was this easy, I would have done this years ago. And then I got text to speech. That's pretty easy too. PYTTSX3 is the software I'm using here. And we'll try that one out.
Well, how are you doing,
Did you
honey?
hear that?
That with you talking over top of it, I did.
Try. I'm not sure if the vocal, I set up the vocal. Try it again.
Well, how are you doing, honey?
Did that come through?
Yes, it did.
All right.
Got a Texan voice going there.
Yeah.
Now, hey Thomas, is that a cloud-based one? I'm not familiar with PYTTS X3. I don't think.
I think it's local. The voices are the ones that I have built into my my Windows machine. These are voices I purchased.
Is this the one you? These are sappy voices that you bought.
That's
or
right.
That one. Yeah, I'm using the same thing too then.
Oh,
But
great.
I haven't bought one, but Dr. Bruce also has bought them, and
Yeah, they're getting better and better every year.
they're still for sale on the Microsoft site somewhere.
Mine weren't from Microsoft, but Microsoft does. Oh, Microsoft is doing some really crazy things with text to speech. Let's talk about that in a minute here. And then I did what you did. I got GPT-3 involved. This I just got working last night, so it probably will work once and not very well. And I'm not coloring the GPT. I'm using DaVinci here, and I'm leaving out the prompt, the initial prompt, and I'm not saving the text and all that you're supposed to do. So this is just a very dry demo. So I combined the three of them, the GPT-3, the speech in, and the text to speech out. And it's not as hard as you'd think. Of course, getting it exactly right will take a lot more time, but this is just the proof of concept, as they say. Hello there.
Hello, 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 hello.
Well, not quite what I was expecting, but we'll take it. It never is what you expect it to be, huh? I was also working on an animated face. I didn't get very far. Basically, I learned how to draw shapes.
You
then
know
I tried. What's that?
It's Dolly-esque, or
Yeah.
Dolly-esque. Picasso/Dolly.
Yeah.
But it's better than the cat with the severed tail.
And then I was working with the camera because I wanted to capture the video, send a frame to my local drive, and then upload that later. But it's still in three pieces. So this part gets the frame. But you know, it's just not that much code. I was very surprised. And there's a lot of sample code. What's that?
Hey, this is for face recognizing?
Yeah, this is the first step, which is to okay. It's not running. Oh. It worked at home, right? I'm home. It should work. And then I got this one in here to describe the scene. And this I'm using what was it? Open CV whatever. Open CV, is it?
Yep.
Yes, Open CV. And that works. Let's see if I can get it to describe the scene. I have a picture here. Let me grab that picture. See.
Oh, it's Azure Cognitive Services.
Images. Oh, they got a lot there. You wouldn't believe what they have there. It's unbelievable. They're solving the artificial person problem one task at a time.
Thank
Now I get the picture. All right, there we go. So this is the picture. It's a picture of me, of course. And let's see what it has to say about me. And it's not running for some reason. Maybe I crashed it. Oh, that's why it's not running. I didn't notice this. It grabbed the web camera. That's a recent picture of me. I thought that was from the other day. You see that? That's why it's not running. I gotta shut that down. It's two separate. Shut it down again. It was running. I just couldn't see it. And again, couldn't see the screen. And if you see this, look, it's got it. I see a man with a mustache. He missed the beard, but you know, hey, we'll give 50% credit there. And you got this whole line of stuff that came back.
Now this is Azure Cognitive Services computer vision client. So this is now you have to subscribe to this Azure Cognitive Services.
That's right.
Okay, I've never done that. It seems like a whole new area.
Oh, it's amazing, Jim. Here, let me open up their website. It's just so much they've done even in the last year. Oh my God, it's because I hadn't looked at it in a year, and you got to get a load of this. This is something to be seen. Here, I'm going to close this window up, close that window up.
You need to reshare your screen because you can't see what you're looking at.
Oh, did I close the share? Can you guys see this browser?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll check that out. I guess I do a lot of it on the camera, the OD camera, but this is a good way to do without a camera. And maybe the camera doesn't have like whole scene descriptions yet.
Okay, so here's some of the stuff they have. And let's see what I was looking at. That's not what I was looking at. Azure AI Services, Cognitive Services. There we go.
Oh, okay, there it is. Under AI machine learning.
They even have a Connect program here for using the Connect.
All right, that's good to know.
Let's see. I'm trying to figure out where I was last night looking at these things. There we go. Now, what amazed me was the text to speech. You have here like 30 voices to choose from, and you can bring these into your own programs. But listen to this. We can take Jenny and have her say hello. Let's just try something simple.
Hello, Robotics Society
Isn't that
of
clear,
Southern
guys?
California.
I mean, that's very, very clear. Now we can put a little bend on it. We can make it sound like angry. We can make her angry.
Hello, Robotics Society of Southern California.
Or we can make her terrified.
Hello, Robotics Society of Southern
We can make
California.
her whisper.
Hello, Robotics Society of Southern
We can
California.
make her excited.
Hello, Robotics Society of Southern
And there's so
California.
many of these here to use. And there's
That's
so
cool.
many
I mean-
different. What's that?
That's cool, but yeah, this is accessible through an API as well, I assume.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to. This is a pay service ultimately. Correct?
Ultimately, yeah, you got to pay to play.
Wonder
I
how
think they
much.
give
Yeah,
you a certain limited amount for free.
but yeah, it's a matter of how.
Hello,
if-
Robotics Society of Southern California.
What's that, Jim?
Yeah, if the cost is decent, then it could be quite useful. But yeah, it also requires. It's also cloud-based, so you're
It's
using
cloud-based.
bandwidth. That's why I try to do a lot of things locally, but this is very useful if you're okay with cloud.
Yeah, yep. They have speech translation, speaker recognition. Remember, you wanted to add that because was it Dr.
Yeah,
Bruce did
Dr.
that?
Bruce, he added it. He has it working as well.
He has it local,
Or-
right?
I didn't do it.
He has it local, doesn't he?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
And here's what they have for computer vision. Okay, I can't show you what they have here. Well, text extraction. There you go. So your robot can read. OCR. You want your robot to read? Oh, I got that working. I did get that working too. Image understanding. Spatial analysis. How people move in a space. I've never tried that one. And a few others too. Anyway, just want to show you guys that you go there yourself. It's amazing. There's so much there. And it's not free. Well, some of it's free, but it's not that expensive unless you're doing it professionally, I suppose. That's about all I have.
All right, Thomas, thanks.
Not Camp Phoebe.
Tim, you going to show off that creature of yours?
If you guys want, I can.
Yeah, I want to see the creature.
Yeah, definitely. I'll highlight him.
Hey, I'm here.
Is that a puppet?
Yes, it is. It's something I got when I went to Disneyland Tuesday. It's cable controlled, so I am controlling it. So I can move the head back and forth like that. And the mouth opens and closes.
Is that the one that was on Michael Jackson's shoulder?
The Salacious Crump.
Where's that from? Is that what movie is that from?
He's in Java. Yeah, Java the Hutt.
Oh, that was the one that was sitting on by Java the Hutt. Right, right.
Right, took C-3PO's eye out. Yeah, I went to Disneyland on Tuesday. Real Christmas presents for myself, so I had some fun time. So I decided he wanted to come home with me. So.
Did you say you're making him blink as well?
No, it'll just head moves back and forth and the mouth moves. That's about it.
Okay.
And also, it's playing back a sound effect right now when it does that.
Oh, sound.
It can't hear. It's hard to hear with my microphone. I don't think you could hear it though.
The microphones cancel out.
How much did that thing cost, Tim?
I'm not going to tell you. Wasn't
cheap. No, I didn't think it'd be cheap.
I think it was about $64 or something like that.
No.
It is cable controlled and it's sitting on my shoulder with I got a little magnetic thing on my shoulder here. So,
No. Like that good one?
Oh.
you can see it's got a cable control box here, which allows me to, also, I got another little interesting Star Wars character for my collection here. Hold on a second.
Hey, you, in front of the screen, get over here.
Got this little guy, sort of cute. Glasses go down. And you push a button on it.
Wow. Oh, this is
Is the
cool.
face made out of rubber, Tim?
So stuff I got when I was at Disneyland.
That is a nice, that's really well done.
Yeah, he's pretty big, It's got like a little button here you can push.
Which character is that?
Remember in the episode 8 where that little guy was working on C-3PO's head to get some code out of him?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
This is him. So you had a little glasses down.
Down? Oh. Wow, and it's lighted. And he's speaking?
Huh?
We can't hear this, his talk, but he's speaking, right?
Yeah. Hold on here. Let's see.
It's because of the,
Hold on.
it almost never works trying to demonstrate like over a microphone. It can't. Heard that. That's not English.
That's cool.
Oh, okay, it did work.
I don't know if you heard that or not.
Yeah, we heard it. Usually you can't.
Somewhat random.
Yeah.
Somewhat. He's
Are you gonna
posable.
hack him?
No, I'm not going to hack him. Posable a little bit.
I haven't seen such sophisticated toys at the store.
All right. And of course,
Yeah, I'll check it out again. They add every year too. Yeah.
since it's Christmas time at Disneyland, got one of these.
Oh my god.
Rudolph.
What is it?
No nose.
That's a big tongue.
Yeah.
That's one of the Santa's reindeers from the parade. This made it into a sipper cup. Got a straw in here. I could pop the top off here and put a drink in.
Oh.
Not that I'm going to, but
So it's like a cup?
it is a cup. Yeah.
Wow.
That's one of the reindeer walk around reindeer character costumes they have in the. That's just the head part of it that they have in the parade.
This is part of the holiday part of.
Yeah, well, they've had other things like popcorn things and stuff like that. Sort of cool. Hold on just a second. Hold on.
Yeah, the one that Thomas turned into a robot. I guess the next time I gotta take a look at products more.
So that's some of the stuff I got when I went to Disneyland last Tuesday. So.
Oh, in the spring, we went to that three of them. Like you bought 3.
That's nice, Tim.
Both, yeah. You could
It
choose
looks like
one
you had a
per
fun
for
day.
like 60.
Well, I still have to work on start putting my 3D printer together. Still pieces here on my table, so.
Definitely.
Yeah. Let's see. You see it's in pieces still.
How come the printer is in pieces?
Well, you bought a new one, right?
It's a Creality. It's a Creality Indoor 3 Pro.
Oh, okay.
Believe it or not, I bought it from Walmart
What a time to be alive.
for $163, including tax.
Can you get a guarantee on that? That's one of those things you really would want a guarantee for.
I don't know if I did or not, but it's a 200 by 200 by 250 millimeter platform.
My next 3D printer, I want a 3-year guarantee, if not a 5.
I'm sorry.
My next 3D printer, I want a 3 to 5 year warranty. I want them to fix that every time it messes up.
Well, unfortunately, I don't know any one of them that have ones that are that long, to be honest with you. I don't know if I got one on or not. I don't remember what I did or not.
Yeah, 3 months.
Well, one of the guys in the 23 Bree group said, "Hey, look at this," and then I looked at it and I said at the time I had the cash, so I bought one.
Okay.
Right now, I'm not sure what's going on with work right now. What I'm going to do is up in the air again, so I may not be working for them for a while.
So what you're saying is you have some time to assemble the printer. Awesome.
Yeah, that and work on. I got someone who wants me to do a NeoPixel program, a little NeoPixel controller for him. So, but got a whole bunch of NeoPixel lights, so he wants to replace all his Christmas tree outdoor lights with NeoPixel strips. So, make him a controller that can have a whole bunch of sequences there. You push a button, play a sequence. Till you push the button, another button. Did something like that for my roommates. I just make a bigger version of that. But it's 2 things I got to work on here. So yeah, you got time to put the printer together. Right now, I'm not quite sure what's going on as far as my electronic design stuff I was doing for Gunner Hill. They got some other company to do it quicker. So right now, what I'm doing is up in the air. It's not that I'm out of the project, because when the thing finally launches, they want me in there for customer service and stuff like that. So, but in the meantime, my money may be sporadically coming in between now and then. So I don't know what's going to happen. So right now, I'm not working for them.
Okay.
Oh, you stopped for.
All right. Well, Tim, thank you for sharing that stuff with us. Thank you very much. You had a great time.
Anyway, I thought you might just see some of that cool stuff. So it's good stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
No problem.
All right. So Jim, I have a request. I don't know what your game plan was for Orange today, but I've never really had an opportunity to look at it up close. If you're doing a demo, it won't work. But yeah, if you mind bringing.
Oh, well, we have it ready for demo right now
Okay.
up
Oh,
there.
okay. All right. Yeah, let's see it.
Running, and you can do the point to just test it, because you like that, like, because your dog's.
Now, are we still recording?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, while we're transitioning here, don't forget next week, come out to the Riverside Robotics Society, where we have a Christmas party. Chocolates, candies, sodas, hot chocolates, and the robot dance contest. Bring your robots, let them dance, win a prize.
Yeah, then we can put Orange up close.
is gonna do a demo in here or?
Out there, so what I'll do is
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Can I say one more thing real quick?
Yes, sir.
I got this Magic Band Plus from them, which is supposed to have an RFID reader in it and something else. I'm not sure what's in it exactly yet, but there are several guys out there who have hacked this thing to make it do other things. So I'm going to look into that. So they got two different types of technologies in there. Also, they have the capability of the thing when you're in a parade or in a thing, they can make the thing flash and buzz and stuff like that. When I was in the Haunted Mansion, it actually came to life and start acting like you feel a heartbeat.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like an interactive.
Well, you can use it to get into the park. You can link it to your park stuff. If you order something from their app, you can use this to pick it up with stuff like that. So it's got two different types of technologies in it, RFID and something else. I'm not quite sure what, because inside of it's got some LEDs and a vibrator motor. So you can change color on the outside rim of this thing. And, you know, anyway, I'm ordering some stuff here to be able to read the RFID stuff. So once I get it together, I'll demo it or something.
That's what, that's a watch that, that identifies RFID. You're muted, Tim.
Oh, they call it a Magic Band Plus. It's linked into some other stuff they have at Walt Disney World to be. You can open your hotel room key with it. You can link it to various other things, so buying and purchasing and doing some other things with it. Also, they have the capability of tripping in and activating it when you're in different, like a parade or like watching something, it'll vibrate or pulse along with whatever they want to send to it. So it's got two different types of technology. One is it's got an RFID tag in it. It's got something else that it can receive information back and make the LEDs light and the vibrator thing vibrate in the thing. So there's, I found several tutorials on how to use the RFID tag to make it do other things. So I've ordered some components and parts to read an RFID tag thing, which I haven't got yet. And when I do, I will see if I can do that. Also, find the technology, how to talk to it the other direction too. So it's two different types of technology in there. Plus it has an accelerometer in there somewhere.
So it's open. There's something open about it. It's not a closed.
Well, it's RFID tag and it's linked to your stuff through Bluetooth on one side, and they've got another thing that's a more longer range transmitter in it. They can, keep track of you while you're inside the park. Apparently, I don't know if they're doing it or not, but they can. I don't know if you guys know. Every time you go into Disneyland or Walt Disney World right now, besides your name, your ticket, they're taking your picture too. So it's linked into their face recognition system, similar to what they have in Las Vegas. So.
Okay, but yeah, you're going to use the kind of open side of it.
I thought you'd find that interesting.
Sounds interesting.
Yep, so I just muted everything over there. Yep.
So one thing about orange is when the lights are flashing like this, it's kind of processing until I, get rid of those delays, or until I get the wait word engine in. So you have to wait until basically everybody has to be quiet, and then for it to be quick, and then you have to wait until this flashing goes to silent like that. So I'll demonstrate the first thing here. Orange, go there. Okay, I am going. Okay.
Hey, Jim, why is there such a long delay?
You went to my right hand. Let's try that again. Orange, take my picture. You will need to show my view first. Orange, show your view. Orange, show your view.
Oh, careful.
Sorry, I don't understand. Show your view, careful.
Oh, sorry.
Orange, show your view. Orange, show your view. Okay. Orange, take my picture. Okay, here is the picture I took. So that'll turn to you. Orange, go there. Orange, go there. Okay, I am going. Okay. And he should turn to me. Now, the reason there's a delay, well, it's obviously a work in progress, but currently the camera has modes, the AI model, and I'm unloading one model and loading another model, and I haven't had time to integrate the code so it's all together. And you know, at some point there'll be a memory issue. You can't have all the you can't have all the models you ever want loaded at once, because they may conflict. You know, there's the tiny YOLO is one model, facial identification is another model, human pose, for what I just did, is another model. And so if you want to integrate those, you have to do it yourself. The sample code is one at a time. So with some things you can integrate, like tracking a person and mobile net or tiny YOLO, you can do those very easily. But combining so that there's time to unload the model and load the model, and that unfortunately that it takes that extra delay. So I'll keep working on that, but.
Oh, cool.
Is there a limited memory? For the camera?
No, for your phone.
Yeah, there's limited memory, and it has to be a certain type of model, so you can only load so many of those at once anyway. But you can do, right, in fact, it may be very hard to do too many, to actually load different models, multiple models on the camera is well, you can do some, basically, is what I'm saying. But the way the code works, like the sample code and everything I've integrated, it gives you, for instance, how to load up the human pose detection, and how to load facial detection, how to load mobile net, how to load tiny YOLO. And there is some, yeah, I can combine. Well, I've got an example from Scott Horton, the guy who, he combined the, I think, mobile net with the human pose. Those you can combine any case, but.
Does it help you think like a disk drive?
No, it's just all static memory. I mean, it's just the RAM, really.
Well, I meant you could maybe simulate a drive or something like that, or you could just
No, that's all, no, it has to be uploaded to the camera because it's in special AI memory, you know, let's just say neural network memory. Maybe someone else can give it a try now, if you wanted to, you can say, come here, like from anywhere, like you can say, come here to it, or, anybody want to try, or Dan, you want to try, say the robot's name and say, come here.
Orange, come here. Orange, come here. Okay. Okay. I didn't turn on enough. It's going to him. Close. That's close enough. Oh. Now it's coming to me. What's the heck? Oh, it thought something was in the way. Oh. Yeah, it was coming to, you were right there, right?
Yeah. Well, don't disappoint it. Go back to where you were standing.
Yeah, I'll be sure.
Otherwise, his needs are unfulfilled.
Orange, come here. Okay. Yeah, it's only as accurate as, you know, those number of LED directions.
Okay.
And if there's a bunch of people, it's gonna go to, it doesn't know who to go to. It'll pick one. And it shouldn't bump you.
It's me.
Yeah, but this is like this is a parlor thing I did at the Arduino, or at the Orange County Robotics first meeting. I brought in, and they didn't have any other robots. I got like an hour, almost like 45 minutes. And I did all this stuff, and there was a crowd of people. And I said, you know, we did that experiment, and then it chose someone.
All right, well, I hate to break this to you, Jim, but your robot's mine now. Orange, follow me. Where's the door? All right. Oh, no, sorry about that. That was, all right, Orange, follow me, follow me, follow me. I'm taking this robot home.
It does need to follow me. Let's do that.
Get over here.
I don't know. Follow me, where's your door? Actually, follow me. See, we're gonna get rid of this problem once I get the wait word. Orange, follow me. Okay, I will follow you. How surprise. Yeah. So, yeah, it'll follow anybody, really. And so Alan can really walk out with it now. Go ahead, you take over.
All right, we're going home now. We're going home now. You're gonna meet my puppies. They're gonna come on. We're gonna love. This is creepily realistic, like in a good way.
The eyes. Yeah.
Come here, buddy. Come here. You got it. You got it. All right, I'm just kidding. I can't steal Jim's robot. I'm sorry.
You can walk, if you go slow enough, walk around the phone.
You find me? You find me? What you doing? Come this way. Come this way. Come on. Come on.
If you go slow enough.
Come on. Come on. Oh, who's a good orange? It's you. This is so cool. It's staring at me and it's following me. My dogs can't even do this. I should get rid of the dogs and build one or two of you.
Alan, you make me laugh, Alan.
Everything is open source on this company.
Oh, look at you, get over here. Who's a pretty orange robot? There you go. Oh, good job, buddy. Good job.
Yeah, he's maxed out.
It's like, COVID restrictions in place. Please stand back. That is amazing.
Now you can say, Orange, stop following me.
Orange, stop following me.
Why would I say
It's thinking, processing.
Sorry, I don't understand. W, you can say Orange, stop following me. Orange, stop following me. Why would I say that?
Orange, stop following me.
Okay. I will stop following. See, this is the problem I'm gonna get rid of with it. The wake word will improve it so much because it will not get all this combination of chatter, you know. So that's like the next thing I want to do because of all these live demos. It's taught me that people, you know, that's the main issue with it. You know, the main issue with recognizing this, you know, delay and then the combining the wrong, you know, or no. Basically, it should ignore everything until it hears orange, blah, and then if people are overlapping, then I'm like, okay, that's I can't necessarily fix
Yeah,
that.
it's not a solved problem right now, so don't feel bad.
Right. But I don't understand. Basically, you should ignore everything until it hears orange, blah, and then people are overlapping, and I'm like, okay, that's.
Buddy, that is adorable. Look at you.
Oh, yeah, we can. Orange, hide your view. Okay. You get back to the eyes. But yeah, oh, let's tell it to go home. Or someone else say, Orange, go home.
Orange, go home.
Wait till the flashing stops, sorry. That's my name. Don't clear it out.
Orange, go home. Orange, go home.
Go to home.
Orange, go to home.
I said it. Oh, hold on, let me try something. Orange, list locations. Okay. Orange, hide your eyes. Oh. Orange, close your eyes. Orange, list locations. Okay. Orange, go home. Orange, go to home. Orange, update location of 1. I updated location 1. Orange, update location of home. Orange, update location home. Sorry, I don't understand. Update location home. Orange, update location of home. I updated location home. Orange, go to 1. I must have broken something. Orange, go home. Orange, go home. Yeah, I must have or something. But the normal, yeah, it's mapping. Normally, that's like the one feature that always works, but the other features are.
Oh, you know
Tim,
what
I think he's just having too good of a time and he doesn't want to go home.
Or maybe I confused him when I said I was taking him home.
He was getting all excited.
I am home now.
Oh, the lighter's not. Yeah, I'm just. This is worth, I mean, I think people, this is one of the main features. I didn't have the speaker on, but that shouldn't have affected it. Try this. Unless the battery's. I'm starting up. I could not connect to Slam 10. Movement is disabled. Let's try that. I'm starting up. Hello, my name is Orange. Pleased to be at your service. Orange, update location of home. I updated location home. Orange, go forward 2 meters. Okay. I've arrived. Orange, update location of number 1. I updated location number 1. Orange, go home. I'm going to the home.
Yay.
Yeah, the mapping must have gotten messed up, but now it's.
Hey, when in doubt, reboot.
Yep. But the cool thing is, I don't have to have a terminal with me to check all these things in the map and everything. It's, you don't want that. You want your robot to just work, like, as in, without having to look at maps and stuff, so. If there is. My battery is getting low. Okay. I'll have to charge up soon. If you're having a problem, you reboot or whatever, but, at some point I might add an ability to see the map on that screen without running the robot software, the software came with. So you could like quickly just show like click here, show me map. Shows you the map of the room. It'd be nice. But yeah, the next major thing, yeah, see these start turning red, indicating the battery's getting low. The battery indicator is a little bit flaky. It's a resistor divider voltage thing, and
yeah,
it seems to be getting worse as the battery ages, like the reliability.
Yeah, and lithium ion has a sharp drop. It's not like lead acid where you can monitor the drop literally over time. It's tough.
Yeah, it's the curve is not linear by any stretch with voltage, but you can do it by other means. I just haven't added sophisticated, I guess, like current measurement and stuff. Any other class commands that somebody wants to try? I mean, this is all the command list. If anybody wants to try it.
I already tried to steal them once.
Yeah. Those are kind of the newest things that, you can tell go across the room and come back, but I don't, yeah, this is too big of a room. But anyway, yeah, but I've been building up the command list for a while. Oh, we could also say, yeah, you can tell it to save the map. Orange, save map engineering. Okay, I will say map engineering. I don't know why I called it that. So now I can look at that map later and see what it did, and then you can load it. So next time you just put it right here and load the map, and it will already know where it is. But yeah, it'll map as, yeah, you guys know about the mapping and all that. But yeah, I didn't, anyway.
I think what you've done with orange is really cool there.
Yeah, thank you.
Very
You can
cool.
also tell it. Orange, shut down system. Okay, I'm shutting down the system. Shut yourself down. Nice. You can also restart. All these like utility things are kind of, they're boring to program, but they're useful. Yeah. It's, but yeah, I'm glad the 22 and all that is working now.
Very cool.
Fixed that interesting problem where one pin went bad on one IO pin.
Yeah.
Which was controlling the direction of one of the wheels, left wheel. So he could only go right, like so. And then I debugged that. And I just found one pin that was available. It's still available, and switched to that one. But yeah, it's a few years old, so that, and it's been used a lot. So that worked a lot of power cycles and playing with it, probably neutralized that pin, IO pin at some point. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you. Someone clap loud for me because I'm holding the phone.
Yay. Very good, Jim.
Thank you.
Liked it a lot.
Oh, you're welcome.
As always, Alan. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take off.
All right, yeah, it's almost time for.
Really.
Oh.
We'll talk later, Thomas.
Oh, yeah, all right. Bye, everyone.
All right, Dwight, happy holidays, everyone. Glad you could make it.
Hope to see you next week in
See ya
Riverside.
next year.
Merry Christmas, Thomas.
Merry Christmas, Ross.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, Tim.
I'll be at Riverside next weekend. Alan, how you doing? All right?
Okay. Yeah.
Hanging in there?
I'll live.
All right.
Oh, yeah. All right, guys.
All
right. Thanks again. We're signing off.
Thank you all.
See you guys next year.